Shout out to Money Man for the game on that one, man. Y'all go tap in. Man, grand evening, right? Rich evening, grand evening, rich evening. I said, let me come out the house because I want to come in the sun. I'm a sun sign. So I wanted to get some of this, some of that energy, that vitamin D, let my melanin pop. We out here. We out here, we out here, we out here. So like I said, rich evening, grand evening. I put the title of Believe in Yourself because that's a big thing. I wanted to speak on something about fear. First off, hold on. Excuse the background, right? It's a lot of cars going by, but a lot of people in this timeline be shooting the message. It's all about the message. When a ninja, excuse me, I'm working on that, right? When a ninja worry more about the messenger than the message, they ain't on the frequency. It went over the head. So don't worry about the cars, the background, or right now. Just peep on where we at. So if we building it up, right? Believe in yourself. A lot of people, I said this kind of before about layers got to be peeled back because some people got too many layers they got to peel back before they can get to the part of believing in themselves. You can tell a ninja all day, hey man, you got what it takes. Hey, you can tell a man, a lady, hey, she got what it takes, You can be a makeup artist. You can be somebody that writes coding, because that's big, and they trying to keep us melanated brothers out of that system. But coding is real big right now. Construction always been big, Believe in yourself. Like when I was a kid, hear me out, when I was a kid, and you can ask my mom this, right? The first, you know how when you in, let's say between the second, or we can say first, but first and fifth grade, when you had them days where they ask you what you want to be when you grow up and all that. Well, at one point in time, I wanted to be an architect. Yeah, I did. And I remember being about, well, how old was it? 7, 8. I could have been 7, 8, or 9. But I remember always when I'm on the freeway, in the car with my mom, anywhere I was with my mother, I would always pay attention to different architecture. Especially when we would go throughout West LA and parts of like where the money was, right? Modern day architecture, like the different designs, where they thought out the box. And I was attracted to that. And at one point in time, that's the lane I was considering myself jumping in. As I got older, though, found out that, hey, is this really what I wanted to do? But a lot of it dealt to just believe it in myself and not having the proper reinforcements. Because, hold on, excuse me. Math has never been one of my strong points in high school or in college. I did do some college. And so, in finding out, oh man, doing this architecture shit, it got something to do with mathematics. Oh, I was out of it. Off that, I didn't want to do it no more. But I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think that I can do this. So I never really went further in architecture. But I always asked myself, had I really dedicated myself from young, all the way into now, 6th, 7th grade, that stayed on my mind and didn't really manifest it by watching the company I keep. You know what I'm saying? Really doing my due diligence in school and out of school, staying away from the fuckery. Nah, I was hanging. That's the thing. I was hanging. I was banging. I was outside. And it's crazy how it takes you to get older to realize the greater importance of certain things. You gotta reflect to see, damn, imagine had I did this and that, take that serious. But now we in a timeline where it takes that little bit of ounce of believing in yourself. Because once you do that, it's a start. It's like watering a thought, right? Once you water the thought and then you do something to act on the thought, right? You engaging in the process. You're engaging in the process of manifestation, right? But because we lack the ability to believe in ourselves, and then we go around energies that are not complementary to the frequency. So you already going around some motherfucker that's not gonna lift you up, not gonna add value to what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? How does that help you elevate? How does that get you to believe in yourself? If you going somewhere where you was high vibrational, but then once you pulled up, you know what I mean, energy got sucked and drained, like energy vampires do. Like, how is that even conducive to growth? Let's talk about it. How is that even conducive to growth? If you pulled up and it was automatically some bullshit, hence upon you pulling up. You feel what I'm saying? That don't add up to like believing in yourself. So it starts with us. You can believe in yourself. I look at other people and I study successful people. I really do. I studied their brand and their movement and what they was about. What got them to the point they was at. Like, that's real talk. We study these people because I want to see what's going on. I want to know, how did this person get to that level of success? What was the hoops this person had to go through? A lot of time we forget about the sacrifice, the long hours, the dedication, but it all goes back to one fucking core thing: belief in self. Belief in self that you can do it. So we forget a lot of that stuff because we look at a lot of successful people, but we forget that the core thing was one thing: belief in self, and we don't believe in ourselves. So we have to start there. A lot of us are not doing the due diligence. So one thing that I could admit and say, yes, I love to study successful people and what they got going. See, when you're trying to do the homework on somebody successful, ego is in a back seat. That involves the ego death, right? Because you don't want to bring ego to the table when you're studying somebody that's getting the bag and that's getting to it. Let's talk about it. It's crazy when you think about it, right? But how many times have your ego played a part in you missing the bag? Let's talk about it. A lot of times our ego made us fumble a play because we brought ego to the table. You didn't believe in yourself when you let ego run the ship. So we got to learn to drive our car. And so when I put the title of belief in self, because a lot of people have to give over that fear of the unknown. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go somewhere and you happy as shit, You ever go somewhere, but right before you pull in that motherfucker, you probably be outside looking at the residence, the location for 5 minutes. You trying to get an energy read, right? You trying to get an energy read. A lot of times I do that. That spirit saying, hold on. Before I attempt to, my energy might be disrupted. Let me read the play. Let me see, is the vibes they want before I even pull into a place. Because from experience, going somewhere where I was happy, high vibrational, as soon as I step in, like, damn, motherfuckers suck the light out of a nigga. Like, damn, a nigga woke up praising the Almighty, feeling good, doing a workout, you know what I'm saying? Promoting light, and your energy gets sucked. And in return, that's people projecting their traumas onto you. They're projecting their hurts because people don't want to address it. So when you show, when you pull up happy, a lot of times people don't want to get to the core of what you're happy about and what's going on. As soon as you show up the light, it already hits their spirit. Damn, I'm fucked up. Damn, I ain't got this going on. You feel what I'm saying? It automatically makes a person look at what they got going on in an instant. It could be a moment of installation, like, wow. I'll take that back. I said that is not actualization. I said installation. That's got to be the joint. But no, real talk. In that one moment, and people do this a lot. So we gotta believe in ourselves. You have to. I look at it as that 1 ounce of when you water it, because at first you water the thought, right? It starts with you water the thought, because you think about it. Let's say you go to sleep. This is an example. Let's say it's Friday, you go to sleep, but you got a thought, damn, tomorrow gonna be a good vibe. I'm gonna wake up and make breakfast for the family. It started with a thought. You went to sleep on that thought, then when you woke up, what did you do? You was in the process of making breakfast for the family so that the family could eat. You know, we all have memories, right? Saturday morning, good vibrations, right? But look how easy that was. You thought about it, you said, this is the intention. My intention is to bring good vibes to the house on a Saturday. Everybody off work, kids, wife, husband, whatever, right? And you acted on it, and then you went and did it. Same thing, when we start to believe in ourselves. So when we start to believe in ourselves, once things that we once shunned, like, nah, that can't happen. I can't be no DJ. Nah, my song ain't gonna get on the radio. Nah, I ain't got a voice. Or, nah, I can't heal people from traumas. I can't be an instrument to help heal people. Nah, I can't write a book. But once we say, nah, fuck that. Let me change my narrative because we create these narratives subconsciously. And that's the block from us. That's the block where we can't attain shit because we block it. We block it. Think about it. Soon as you say you can't do something, it's blocked. It only take one thought for you to really think like, nah, that ain't attainable. Versus, okay, fuck that, I can do this. What is the work I gotta do? A lot of shit isn't overnight. And that's another thing, when social media has an effect on you too, social media can also be the tool in the fear part with you. Because you looking at all these people with a bag, everybody, and don't get me wrong, we don't know every story. We don't know how a person got to the level they got to. Yes, some people do the overnight success, but don't let that be the play on you. A lot of times, the more work, a lot of times it's greater appreciated when it wasn't an overnight success, when you had to grind. See, because there's a lot of people that it might have took them 10 years to get their bag, and they come on and be transparent and tell you the story of, hey, it took me 10 years on this road. And I bet you anybody with that type of story won't tell you, it won't be no part of that story where they didn't have to jump over a hurdle. You know what I'm saying? Where it wasn't no part where they contemplated, nah, this ain't it, this ain't gonna work. It happens to the best, but those are the test moments. And when you see like that, like each time you jump over one, you get more energy. Each time you jump over one, you raise in frequency. Because you know, oh, they lied to me, man. This shit is, man, I can do this. This shit can get done. We in the business of thinking shit can't get done because we project onto others how we feeling, what's going on. Think about it. If you wake up with an attitude, right, you project your attitude onto the whole house, and now you trying to disrupt the harmony and energy, right? How many times you grew up where your mom or your daddy woke up mad at some other shit that you a kid? You don't understand why your mama or your daddy mad. We only 5, we only 8, but they mad about something, right? And we didn't understand it, but we knew they was mad. Think about it. How many times did that happen in your household and you didn't know why they was mad and you couldn't understand why they was mad, but they was mad? And projecting that onto you, projecting it onto the household, it's energy disruption. A lot of people energy disrupted, and it's the part of coming back within balance. You know what I'm saying? Putting your energies back to balance. So if you believe in yourself, if you tap into let me water something that could be fruitful, it starts with watering the thought. Shedding the idea that fear. See what I'm saying? Fear. Fear of the unknown. That's what people are scared of. That's all it is. You don't know what's on the other side of the door, so you scared to go get yours. That's what that is. Don't know what's on the other side of the door. They don't know what's on the other side of the door, so they scared to go get theirs. Don't be scared to go get yours. Like, you gotta go hard in the paint. I don't let fear. I'm in a timeline on MySpace where I don't even let fear rock with me, my nigga. Like my ninja. I ain't letting fear rock. Fear ain't rocking over here. I can see a lot of people. I study a lot of successful people, like I said. And one thing I noticed is they wasn't rocking with fear. People have that in their story, being transparent, whereas it was a time where it was like, nah, this can't happen. This ain't it. But the majority of the time, a lot of people gave up. When you listen to stories, watch stories about successful people, they can tell you where they was in business with people who gave up, where they was the last leg standing, believing in their mission, believing in their purpose, passionate about what they do. You know what I mean? Like, it's sad when you can ask a man or a woman like what they passionate about, and they take long to give you the answer. Like, you ask me that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna go with it fast. Like, I'm gonna have a lot to tell you about what I'm passionate about why I do what I do, why I love music, why I love speaking on spiritual things. Like, I'm gonna be real passionate when I speak. People don't understand these things, man. They stuck in an old frequency that don't work in this timeline. Because you have to think, if you notice, let's think about it. Let's talk about it, right? No matter how staunch a person want to be against modernization and against going with what we're doing with the times right now, think about it. No matter how somebody would want to go against it, you cannot stop the ball. I could be against NFTs if I wanted to, the metaverse, right? Social media, but One thing I couldn't stop is the time and what's going on. So it's either you elevate and get with the times or you get left behind. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Motherfuckers ain't gonna give you a pass in these later timelines. So we're raising in frequency. A lot of people is learning shit. A lot of people that was getting into lanes that they thought that they wasn't gonna able to get into. A lot of people was opening doors that they thought was closed because the whole time you closed the door on the idea that it could happen. The door wasn't never closed. You just closed the door yourself. You closed the door yourself with that thought that it could never happen. That's what fucked it up. Let's talk about it. So we raising our vibration, and it's like I'm seeing it with my own third eye because see they want to hide something from you. What? They want you don't always have to see things with the physical. That's the thing, right? We're trained subconsciously that you always got to physically see some shit. So if you don't physically see it, it can't happen or it never happened or this don't exist or how does it exist? Because you always got to... Why the fuck you think we got a motherfucking intuition? That's what the fuck your first mind is. Spirit, intuition. We put different names on it. It's all the same. Third eye right here, right? Kundalini energy, man. Tap in. Tap in. I know people be like wanting to see you drop bullshit and like I know I do music, but I'm the balance because it's like I can give you the street shit, but at the same time I got the core, I got the balance of the other shit too. It's what we need. We need soldiers and soldierettes that can be in and out of this shit. You know what I'm trying to say? Like they know the streets, but they know the spiritual because you gotta tie that hand in hand. Because you might be a street ninja, right? That's in a street situation, but you need that divine spiritual intelligence, right, to navigate through a situation. Let's say you about to go do a drug deal or something, right? Let's talk about it, right? But the whole time they came to get you, my nigga. Like the deal wasn't about to go solid, and they probably was like, "We gonna rob this ninja right now," but they gonna bring choppers out. Imagine if you was a spiritual person at the same time, and you was tapping into the divine, right? And on your way to do the drop off, you felt bad vibes and spirit, like, "Nah, my nigga, turn back around." And then create a play to say, "Nah, something came up," right? And then you might see on the news, "Hey, some on Decatur Street, there was a shootout behind the Popeyes and the Smiths." Woo, 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 woo. And what if maybe maybe your drug deal was about to be made over there, or maybe you was just about to link up and buy some Jordans off. You know how you go buy Jordans and electronics offline? It's just, but you tapping into the divine, see? So it's like, don't get it twisted that you just gotta be this. See, because what they do is, this is the powers that be that make it look like if you're a conscious person, you're just this watered down and you can't be the person you is. If you're conscious, you know what I mean? They make it look like it's watered down. They make it look like you on some weird shit. But whole time, you lit when you conscious because you know your light bulb on. So now it's like you a chameleon because you can adapt to your surroundings, but at the same time, you tapped in with the divine order of things and how shit go. See what I'm saying? It's divine for you to learn, right? And elevate. Especially knowing that we have these energies metaphysically. I'll be like, damn, why they not telling our people that if we meditate and tap into these tap into this real spiritual energy within us, because Kundalini energy, like, you can really become a powerful person. Because here's the thing, right? When we tap into these energies, it requires a dedication. It requires patience, right? Think about it. It requires belief in the hard work, right? It requires sacrifice, right? Think about it, all these things that are required. But when we start doing these, we elevate in frequency, our power, we get stronger. See, they ain't telling us this part. This the part they know, but they say, okay, so we gonna use our money to demonize all the little shit to demonize anything that's gonna wake their game up. Think about it. You can go on I say this on my other live, you can go on YouTube and see how they demonize the word sacrifice to keep you from tapping in. Like, I peep game on that and I'm like, oh, these niggas is cornballs. So any little, I don't subscribe to none of that shit. Like, oh, he got $1 million off of a single and his mom just passed away. He sacrificed. Like, get that bullshit false narrative about here, my ninja. Like, if you don't knock it off, like, sacrifice is required to reap the great benefit and reward. Think about it. But it's so many people. Look, it's so much energy going around, but a lot of people lazy. See what I'm saying? It's like, how could you be lazy in this timeline when there's a lot of energy going around to get something done? Like, even if you find yourself frustrated about financial matters, right? Don't sit and be like, don't be in the energy of it's over for you. Tap into the energy like, no, how can a bitch get this shit done? Like, where is it? Like, and then that goes back into my other live. Like, well, what the fuck is you passionate about? Like, what do you got going on? What do you do on your downtime? Like, come on, feel me? A lot of people, but see, here's the thing. Nigga, on their downtime, a lot of people just scrolling timelines. They ain't doing shit but scrolling the timeline. Why? You scrolling timelines and bitches got bags, ninjas got bags, people vacationing in. They talking about we on the jet. Somebody just bought their mama a Cartier, like, and now it plays on you because it's making you look where you lacking at in areas. You looking at yourself, damn. Now you stressed out, like, because you wasn't even in the right frequency anyway when you were scrolling. Then it requires shit. Well, maybe your timeline ain't in order, my nigga. What I mean by that is who you following, who following you. Who are you following? Because your follow list gonna reflect what you own. I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like for instance, a lot of ninjas, they follow a lot of the big booty girls, and so most of these ninjas, they time ain't got nothing but ass shaking. Ain't no balance. I can see, okay, we human, we spiritual beings having a human. I can see if it's balanced, like, okay, you got a couple bitches on there shaking ass, but at the same time, you got, you know what I mean, money, you got spiritual, all, you know what I mean? A lot of niggas got the whole timeline is out of pocket. So when you scrolling, they ain't nothing on their timeline that's gonna tap them into the energy of elevation. And that's why a lot of our young people lost, because if you just follow entertainers with a bag and you ain't on the right frequency, you might do some dumb shit to try to go get it. You see what I'm saying? So let's talk about it. Come on, man. We know that's what they do. We know that's what they do. So you have to believe in yourself. When we get the energy, when we start tapping into the energy and you start creating a program, because see, we raise the frequency when we create positive routines for ourselves. You raise the bar. See, create better habits for yourself. You know what I'm saying? To really start tapping in, because then your perspective and consciousness does shift. You do have a conscious shift. And because we're in the timeline, and because we're in the timeline where if you ain't raising your game, you know what I mean, if you ain't waking up into the frequency, you just gonna get left behind. Like, the world gonna keep, you know what I mean? It's elevating. Like, you see how we moving into the digital space and how they doing that, and myself is like, okay, I gotta tap into that. Let me start learning a little, like, you know. When you ain't willing to do the work on yourself, like, you get left behind. And this timeline, you got to be willing to do the work on yourself. That's where we at. You got to be willing to do the work on yourself in this timeline, or you will get left behind. That's just how it is right now. And you can see how things are going, what's going on in the world currently. If you don't do the work on yourself, you'll get left behind. That's what's going on. It is a beautiful day, though. You know what I mean? You can see the palms over there. That's the view of that palm. Like, background, you see the palms going up. Yeah, man, y'all. So y'all, man, you know, make sure that y'all like and subscribe to the channel. Engage in the comment section. You know, let's get more and more people so this video comes to the face. So let's like and subscribe. Let's engage in the comment section. If you like what I'm doing, and you're a subscriber, you love what I'm doing, keep tapping in, man. Keep engaging. Let's run the numbers up so we can get more people, more happiness, more healing, right? More high vibrations. There's more things to come. And I want y'all to enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday evening. Of course, I'm going to puff on the rest of this Gary Payton. If you want to donate to the channel, Vontae money sign Vontae Bagman, VONTE BAGMAN. And like I said, like, subscribe for sure. What we gonna do is I'm gonna tap in with y'all later though.